light, green light. Go, go, go. Da einschalten, Mikrofon stumm schalten. Ach cool, mein Mikrofon war hier stumm geschalten. So, I hope you can hear me now. Sorry, but it's the first time after a long time I stream about my PlayStation directly without any capture card or PC between. So I hope you can hear me now. I'm not sure. And I don't know how to check it. Yeah, it works now. Nice one. So hello and good evening to the 5th race here at the Cone Racing League, the first season in Assetto Corsa Competizione. And we are in Brad's Hedge today. And yeah, this was fun. So, and Bjarke and Rotation are writing that they can hear me now. Good job. So, and yeah, what did I tell you the last 10 minutes? I don't know. I don't remember. So, at first I was telling you that you can find the last race on my Twitch account, Vincent Racing Experience, if you are fast enough. I think it will be there for 1 or 2 more days before it's got deleted. Yeah, and today we have a really close field. There are 5 cars between 28 thousandths of a second. So Paco, the French BMW on P1 at this moment, 100 of a second in front of Crosby, who is 5 thousandths of a second in front of Small. And then we have Campbell again 7 thousandths behind Small, and Booth, who is 5 thousandths of a second behind Campbell. And yeah, this could be a really interesting start, especially here at Brands Hatch. Oh, and by the way, the number 18 is the first one who is more than a second behind our leader. And we have there, after Booth, we have Durston, then Garrett, Jake, then the Danish McLaren with the number 31, Eckholt, Evandro, I'm not sure if it was Spanish or Portugal. Maybe it's the guy from Portugal in the McLaren with the number 83. Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't a guy from Spain. And then the German BMW, Paul P. Fischer, I don't know. No, it's not Paul. I think it's Pete, but I'm not sure. Fischer on the last top 10 place. And then the next BMW, Horlock 11. Then Revel, number 12. Roberts, the McLaren on the place number 13, and then the next German one, Toby Sohn, in the, I think it's the only Porsche at this moment on P14. Then the second Booth after Nathan on P5, we have, I think it was Jake, Booth on P15, then Palmer, the only AMG, on P16. Then Pukinen, followed by Bagnall, then Wichtrup, and not Fell but Pell on P20. Then Longfellow, the next BMW, on the number 21. Hobbs in the McLaren with the number 19. 19 on P22, then Kolpa, and dots in the only, or the first and the last Audi. Yeah, the first one who is more than 2 seconds behind the leader at this moment on P24, followed by the first Aston at their home race. Interesting. Oh, I don't know. What is the home track of Aston? It have to be one of the British courses, but maybe it's Snetterton or something like this. Interesting. Then we have Strauss on P26, followed by Farrell, then Mitchell and Ellens in the second Aston, and then we have Hill, and I'm on P31 without doing anything except talking. So, but at this moment we have Booth, who is running away, and checking the greens, because with the 123, whoa, hey, you can't park there, sir. And Booth with the 123.097 now more than 1/10 in front of Revel, and then we have Small, followed by Garrett and Paco. So at this moment the first BMW only on P5, behind 2 Ferraris and 2 McLaren. Yeah, but it seems to be a good track for McLaren, so maybe the home race of McLaren. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 McLaren in the top 10. So half of the top 10 is filled with McLaren, and then 2 Ferrari and 3 BMWs. Yeah, Palmer in the first AMG, now on P13, and Zone in the first Porsche at the end of the qualification on P15, so everyone can finish his or her lap at this moment, and then we have the final, not countdown, but the final results of the qualification here at Brands Hatch. Oh, there was a green car in the greens. Okay, but where does it belong more than on the green? Oh. I think that was the end of the lap of Revel. Let's see. He's braking. So we have Nathan on P1. So Ferrari will start from the first, and then we have Revel and Small, the 2 McLaren on P2 and 3. And the second starting row is filled with a second Ferrari. So Booth and Garrett both in the first rows. And then we have Paco and Crosby on P5 and 6. Then Campbell and Horlock 7th and 8th one. Durston and Eckholt, who are completing the top 10. Oh god, I think it's totally bullshit what I'm talking here. Yeah, then on P13 the first Mercedes or AMG, then Toby Sohn in the first Porsche. Oh, and Pell, the first Lamborghini on P20. And then Dodds on P25, the first and only Audi. And then Hansen and Ellens, the 2 Aston Martin drivers on P26 and 28. So now we have a big break, normally filled with some commercial break or with a little commercial break, but not today. But I will do a little break because I have to do something. So see you soon with the introduction lab. Till later. So, till 1 minute, or still 1 minute until the start of the race, or the start of the introduction lap, and I don't know, but I think it was small with the win last race, so let's jump in the McLaren for the warm-up lap. I don't know what it's called. Oh, what was this?
30 seconds.
This? Hey.
Seconds. 10 seconds.
So, and now let's see if they can survive Paddock Hill Bend and Druids. I think it will be critical at turn 2, not turn 1. But at first we have the warm-up lap, so I'm pretty sure that there is no crash here in Paddock Hill Bend. But I think things will be complicated here on top of the little hill when they are going for Druids, or maybe even then after Druids in Graham Hill corner, here turn 3. But we will see. So let's take a look on the field behind Small. We have the second Ferrari and the first BMWs right behind him. Yeah, Paco is directly behind him when they starting. So now we are in Dingeldale and Dingeldale Corner, one of my favorite corner names. Now at Dingeldale Corner. Then we have turn 8 Sterling's Bend, and then the long clear way up to turn 9 Clark Curve, and then the start finish straight, the Brabham Straight. So, and now they go in double file, so let's jump to this view. It's a better view for the start. And then fingers crossed that there is no big mess in lap 1. Or maybe, I don't know what you like. If you like big crashes, then maybe cross your fingers for the other one. But I like it when it is clean and a smooth start, so it's more interesting for the rest of the race. Oh, and now the attack by the McLaren behind of the French BMW, but no. And like I said, no complication in turn 1, but also everything seems fine here after turn 2. So compliment to the drivers. Oh, and there we have Toby far away. And he's losing all of his positions, and he fell back on P20, no, 30, no, 29. And then we have Allens already with a stop and go penalty in the Bentley. Oh, it's Allens not with the Aston. Oh, and he's really struggling. Now what is happening here with the Bentley? Sorry, he isn't the second Aston. How could I be so blind? And here we have the fight between Booth and Reville. And then we have Small right behind these two, followed by Garrett and Paco, and Campbell already in front of Horlock, the second BMW. So Campbell, who has attacked early. I don't know what, but I think you know what I mean. And then Horlock, who fell back on P7, right in front of Durston, the next McLaren. Oh, and Palmer already in the top 10, jumps from P12, I think, up to P9. And then we have Evandro and Eckholt, the Danish McLaren, who has Fischer and Booth right behind him. And these two are fighting. Be careful, guys. At this moment, with the better end for the BMW. And Nathan at this moment right behind Fischer. And Fischer, I think he lose at least one position. And Nathan at this moment far away from Small. And Small at this moment, he must defend the second position against Garrett. And this means the second Ferrari is fighting for P2. Only 2/10 behind small. And then we have Paco, the first BMW. And then Campbell, I think he... No, he isn't. Who? Where's Revel? Oh. Oh, what is happening to the number 666? I didn't saw it. Oh, and now we have another yellow flag here, so... Oh, another McLaren with big issues, so let's see. Oh, and it is Evandro, maybe? No, it's Durston, the next McLaren with... who fell back at this moment. Back to the P27. So the second McLaren with some big problems, and now we have only Small and Campbell, and Evandro and Eckholt in the top 10. And Palmer on P7 at this moment. So the next two positions he could win in the AMG. And Booth at this moment more than 2 seconds in front of the rest of the field. And Small and Garrett next to each other, but more than 1 second in front of the first BMW, the French one here, driven by Paco. And then Campbell and Horlock. And here we have Palmer already. Less than a second in behind Horlock. But also Evandro is right behind him. And more than 3 seconds in front of Eckholt, the Danish McLaren. And then we have Fischer back on P10. I think that is where he started. And the bad news for Durston and Revel is that they don't do a stop and fell back, but doing a little turnaround, and both of them losing a lot of positions. Yeah, and meanwhile, Small was able to get away from Garrett and coming a little bit closer to Booth. So less than 2 seconds behind Booth and more than a second in front of Jake. And I think it was even Small, but like I said before, I'm not really sure. Oh, a little tail whipping or something like this by Small. A very little drift there on turn 3 or 4. And then we have Campbell right behind Paco. So maybe no P4 for the French BMW. Yeah, 2 viewers and one of them are me. Or is me. Yeah, but it's okay. And behind we have the fight between Palmer and Horlock. So a little mistake by Horlock. And this allows Palmer to attack P6. Oh, and there were a little contact. Well, there was a little contact. And also Evandro was able to overtake Horlock after the one little mistake, but it costs him 2 places. And what's here between Paco and Campbell? So Paco could or was able to defend P5. And Palmer starting from P12, I think, already on P6. And this after 10 minutes. Let's see where he is at the end of the race. And now he has nearly 2.5 seconds till the driver in front of him. So I think he sees what he tried to get. So and Campbell and Paco are fighting, and this is the best yeah, that makes it easier. Oh, and Paco behind Campbell, so Campbell on P4 right now. So after overtaking Horlock, now he's in front of the second BMW. Here after 8 laps. And let's see, where is the Mercedes? Oh, only 1.5 seconds behind Pago. So this means he's getting closer. And then we have Evandro and Horlock right behind the AMG. And then Eckholt 2 seconds behind Horlock, but 2 seconds in front of Crosby. And Crosby is... Oh, Crosby with some problems. But Fischer couldn't use this problem. Oh, and Fischer... Oh, it wasn't Fischer, it was... With this, is it Roberts? Ah, it's Roberts right behind Crosby. And Fischer and Wichtrup with their mandatory stop. And just non-P28 already did his mandatory stop. And here we have the fight between the McLaren and the BMW fighting for the last top 10 position, which means P10. And here we have Horlock against Evandro for P7. And Palmer fell back again more than 2 seconds behind Paco. But Paco already more than a second behind Campbell. And here we have the fight between Garrett and Small. So, and after the first stops, we have Wichtrup on P26. 2.9 seconds in front of Fischer, and then we have Dursten already 1 or 2 laps behind these twos. But I think Dursten with some bigger problems in the first few corners. And now we have Revel, the second McLaren with the big problems at the start of the race, also in for his mandatory stop. And let's see where he is able to get out after this stop. And let's see for the fight up to P10, Crosby against Roberts. But it seems that Crosby is able to get away a little bit from his follower. And Palmer already 2.3 seconds behind Paco. And Garrett next to Small. Oh, and Booth. Again, he loses time at the... after 15 minutes. Like last week, I can remember Booth was also... Whoa, and this means, now we have to fight for the lead, and Small is taking the lead because of the little drift by Booth here after Graham Hill corner. And now we have the fight between P1, 2 and 3. Garrett right behind Booth, who is right behind the new leader, behind Small. And is Small able to get away? Oh, and now we have a lapped car who's using the grass. And the attack by the second Ferrari, by Garrett, but Booth is able to stay in front at this moment. But I think he has some problems with his tires. Or maybe it's the concentration, but after 15 minutes it couldn't be the concentration. And Garrett, by the way, with the fastest lap of the race at this moment. And there's not only the fight between P2 and 3, but also P6, 7 and 8 fighting for the positions. Oh, and Oh, Palmer fell back on P8, so he's losing 2 positions. The first time that he lose a position this race. And now we have Evandro and Horlock on P6 and 7, so Horlock back in front of Palmer. And Garrett more than half of a second behind Booth at this moment. So, and here we have the fight between Eckholt and Crosby. So the colorful BMW is coming closer to the Danish McLaren. And Garrett again right behind Nathan. No, what was this? Ah, it was the controller. Yeah, funny thing. Stupid gravity. So, and let's see, we have Pell and Fischer at this moment, the leader of the drivers who already did their mandatory stop. So Pell at this moment 4 seconds in front of Fischer on P20 and 21, followed by Rievel, Kolpa and Wirtrup. Oh, and what has happened to Pell? Pell... okay, maybe it was a little mistake here by the not live timing. I think Pell was in for the stop at this lap, and so maybe it wasn't live at this moment. And okay, we have Fischer now on P20, who is the leader of the guys who did their stop, followed by Pell. Oh, and now we have Crosby. And Crosby takes the lead of the green cars, let's say it like this. And then we have Fischer. So at this moment, P19 and P20 for the 2 BMW. Then Pell in the first and only Lamborghini, and then Rievel, Wirtrup, Kolpa, Hansen, Dursten and Hobbs. We already lose the Bentley, which I called the second Aston. What a shame. So, and now we have the pit stop by the 2 Ferraris. Booth and Garrett are in for their mandatory stop. Let's see if everything goes fine, or maybe Booth with the danger to lose P2 against Garrett. But like we see, he finished his stop earlier than Garrett and could stay in front of the baby blue Ferrari. And they are... and who was this? I don't know. Who is the purple car? Let's see. No, it isn't. It's not Evandro. No, it's not Roberts. Who was it?
We are at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
So, oh, little contact between the BMW and the Audi. Dots against Strauss. And then we have not Pukinen. Now it's a little bit confusing here. Oh, and we have another mistake by Hill. No, it wasn't Hill, it was Hobbs. Oh, and this was the pink McLaren, but a little mistake, and he jumps into the pits. So, and now we have Evandro and Palmer on P1 and 2, but because of the stop of Small, Campbell and so on. So, and now we must look for Small and Booth. Small already done with his pit stop, but not out of the pit at this moment. And this means that Booth stays in front of Small, or not stays, but get again in front of Small. And also Garrett jumps in front of the McLaren, and the McLaren only on P3. So after winning P1 in front of or before the stops, he now fell back on P3 behind the 2 Ferrari. So Booth and Garrett in front of Small, and then the second McLaren with Campbell on P8. Which means P4 of these who already stopped. I was a little bit confused by myself saying P8. So, and because of the stop, or the stops of Evandro and Palmer, we have Roberts and Pulkkinen on P1 and 2. And now we have Booth back on P3, followed by Garrett, and then Small right behind the 2 Ferraris. And then we have Evandro on P6, which means P4, and Palmer. Oh, and Palmer on P5 at this moment. Is it true? No. We have Paco in front of Palmer. So this means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. P6 for the BMW and P7 for the AMG. And I think there was no change of places here after Small. So, and now we are waiting for the last 2 stops by Roberts and Pulkkinen, or Pulkkinen, I don't know. I think it's an L between the U and the K, but I'm not sure. So, and here we have the fight for the lead between the 2 Italian cars, with, I think, the British drivers. So, and Garrett tries to get in front. He's attacking. Yeah, maybe this is the good news for Small, because I'm a little bit afraid that Booth's tires are getting worse again. And let's see. Last time it happens after between 10 and 15 minutes. And then we have the fight between Campbell, Paco and Palmer. So, and now Booth is taking the lead again, because number 22 and 51 are in for their stops. And this means Booth P1, Garrett P2. Oh, what was this? That was the hell of a lag by Garrett, jumping around like a little Bambi. Oh my god. I don't know what is Reh in English. Deer. No, but it's Deer, not the male one with the big, not horn on, but Geweih in German. Oh, and we have the first drive-through by Roberts, P22, who is right behind the second booth, Jake Booth, I think, on P12. No, P11 and Robert, P11. Oh God, P11. Oh my goodness. And right behind him we have the driver with the drive-through. Yeah, and then we have a lot of fights here. Campbell against Paco and Palmer. Then Eckholt and Grosby next to each other. And also between... Oh, and Sohn was able to overtake the Lamborghini for now P13 already because of the drive-through by Roberts. This means Pell back on P14 and Sohn was able to win 2 positions. Meanwhile, we have a little gap between P2 and 3, 1.3 seconds. And I don't know if he is able to close this gap in the last 15 or 14 minutes. But let's see if the Ferraris are starting to fight. At this moment Garrett is... Oh, there was a little problem by Garrett. And so Small is back right behind him. And Palmer in front of Paco, back on P6, right behind Campbell and Paco. Yeah. Then we have Eckholt and Crosby, and so this means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars next to each other. And Campbell only 1 second behind Evandro. So the first 3 cars right... the first 3 cars next to each other, and then car 4 till 9 also really close to each other. Yeah, and Palmer fighting for P5 at this moment, coming from P12. So, and let's see what they are doing here on top of the field. Garrett again close to Booth. So Nathan under pressure by the number 12 Ferrari. And Small sitting in the first row to watch this fight. And maybe if they are doing some bullshit, he's the lucky third one. Yeah, but if they are doing, or if they aren't doing bullshit, the two Ferraris, he's not able to stay behind these two. Again, more than a second behind Garrett. So he need some problems from the two in front of him. Oh, and now maybe was this a try to attack the leader? I don't know. Oh, and now they are next to each other, or beside, here in Druids, turn 2. But Nathan was able to stay in front of Jake. By the way, I don't know if his first name is Jake. I'm pretty sure, but not 100%. So maybe I tell you totally bullshit. But it's Garrett when I call him Jake. Yeah, because of the fight of these two, Small is again right behind the blue Ferrari. Campbell 1.6 seconds in front of Paco, who was able to get back on P6 in front of Palmer. And then we have the Danish McLaren on P8, followed by Crosby and Hollock, the two BMW. And then we have the second booth, 7 seconds behind Hollock on P11. And then Fischer, Sohn, the two German drivers. Pell, the Lamborghini Rebel, the unlucky McLaren, who started on P3, I think. Then Longfellow, the number 98 BMW, Bagnall on P17, followed by Wichtrup and Kolpa. Then Dotz, the Audi on P20, and P21 Pukinen. And then we have Durston, the second unlucky McLaren on P22, followed by Hill. Then Strauss and Hansen, the Aston Martin, who's also a little bit unlucky, only on P25. 7 minutes before the end of the race. Or 7.5 minutes. And here the fight for the lead between these oh god, oh, what's going on with me today, between these three drivers, my goodness. So, and here we have the fight between the two McLaren for P4. Evandro against Campbell. Campbell, I think he started on P7 or P8. Already on P5, right behind P4. And Palmer from P12 up to P7. And here we have the really close fight between 1, 2 and 3. Yeah, and no, the second booth, J booth, right now under pressure by the German BMW. Oh, but there was a little struggle by Fischer, maybe. I think he will lose some 10th against Booth. Let's see. Yeah, half of a second. And now it's getting really tricky. Oh, and Garrett in front of Booth. So Garrett with the lead, but at this moment with a little, with the problem that there are two lapped cars right in front of him, and I think these two BMWs are fighting against each other. It's not Crosby. Who is it? No, it's not Fischer. Oh, it's not a fight between these two BMW. Oh, and one of the BMWs right next to the track. And this means it's not Paco, but it's the teammate of Paco. If I were able to remember who was it, then we could... Maybe it's Kolpa. Oh no, I think it's Longfellow. Let's see. No, it's not Longfellow. Crosby? No. Horlock? No. Then maybe it's Kolpa. No. Okay, it's Strauss. Yeah, it was Strauss. Strauss at this moment behind Small. But Small more than a second behind Booth. And Booth 3/10 behind Garrett. And 3.5 minutes before the end of the race, we have the fight between the two Ferraris. But at this moment, Garrett on P1 and Booth only on P2. And what was this? Oh no! What is happening to Garrett? And he, what was this? It was a leg, and whoa! And this fucking leg caused a real mess. He was invisible. Whoa! And now, so goodness, my God, they are wrecking. And this is really funny. Normally, it's happened at the start of the race and not in the last 3 minutes, but only because of the, what should I say? Because of the problems by the number 12 here and his, I don't know, internet, or what should I say, fell back on P10. Oh, here, Crosby also with some problems. And what was this? Small only on P4, now Paco on 3, Evandro on 2, and Booth, the lucky one who survived this mess. So in front of Booth, Garrett disappeared, so he was plop just away and come back on track right in front of, or in Small, here at or in front of the first corner. And this is really interesting. Never saw it before. And this means Evandro and Paco, the lucky guys. And then Small fighting against Palmer. Palmer also on P5 at this moment. Maybe at the end with P4. Let's see. And also the Danish McLaren with some lucky places. So now on P6, followed by Campbell and Horlock. Then Crosby on P9 with the Candy BMW. And Garrett only on P10. From 1 to 10. And maybe it's getting worse because he has a really shitty car at the moment. I'm pretty sure when we take a look for the front part of the car. So, and now we have the last lap by Booth. More than 10 seconds, I would say. Oh no, more than 7 seconds in front of P2. And then Paco on 3, Small. I think he is able to stay on P4. But this is also a little bad news for Small. And this was really crazy. So a big lag. I'm not sure if Booth is already checked or has already checked what happens there. But really, really interesting. So, and now we have a winner. Nathan with the win of the race. Then Evandro on P2. And Paco, the French BMW, with the lucky P3, followed by Small and Eckholt. Then Palmer P6, Horlock P7, Campbell on P8, then Crosby and Jake Booth already in front of Garrett, and then Fisher on P11 and Garrett only on P12, losing 2 more positions in the last lap. Then Revel in front of Pell, who also lose another position in the last laps against Revel. Then Bagnall on P15, Longfellow the 5th or 4th BMW on P16, and the second German driver only P17. I think he's a little bit unlucky. And then we have Kolpa on P18 and Wirtrup is fighting against Durston. And then we have Dotz and Pulkkinen also losing, I think, 3 positions in the last sector of this race. Only on P22 in front of Hansen. And then we have Strauss and Hill and Roberts, Hobbs, Mitchell, Farrell and Allens weren't able to finish this race. So, and normally I do some interviews, but because we are streaming about the PlayStation directly, I think it's a little bit uncomfortable for me and the drivers to do an interview, because till I invite everyone and explain that they have to separate their voices. I think it's easier to say we try it next week. And so let's see where we are next week here at the Cone Racing League. And this is the last race of the first season. And therefore we are going to Belgium, to Spa. And yeah, maybe we see us again next week, or maybe in one of my streams. So if you want to, you can go on Twitch and searching for Vincent Racing Experience all together, and then we see us earlier than on Thursday, Tuesday, you know what I mean. Or we see us next week at Spa. So let's call it a day. Let's say goodbye, good evening, and yeah, congratulations to everyone who finished this interesting race. And yeah, but really scary, let's say it like this, what happened to Garrett in the lead, just do a little magic trick. And yeah, but this wasn't really good for him. Fell back on P12 from the lead, and Booth with the lucky win, and then Evandro and Paco on P2 and 3. And I hope that we have a little standing for the next week. So let's say goodbye and good evening till the next time. I'm Vincent and I'm out. See you.